This video is about recording soundtracks. The best video in the world can be spoiled by a poor soundtrack. Indeed, I find that creating a good soundtrack is by far the most difficult part of producing a good video, and I have not always succeeded. Nearly every computer comes with the capability of recording sound, but the built-in microphone tends to pick up too much background noise from the computer's electronics. Even the addition of a microphone plugged into the audio jack of the computer does not make sufficient improvement, so we'll set that approach aside. It is some years ago that I acquired a USB digital microphone mounted on a headset. Here's a good example. It just goes on like that, and the microphone is close to your mouth. It made a significant improvement, and I lived with that for quite a long time. However, in the last couple of years I have decided that I want to improve yet again, and I have moved on to the Silver Yeti microphone mounted on a vibration reducing cantilever arm. In this short series of tests, I hope I will be able to show you why I did that. I strongly recommend that you acquire the digital USB microphone, but whether you bother to use independent software such as Audacity, which I will demonstrate shortly, or go to the trouble and complexity and expense of a high-quality microphone like this one, is up to you. So let's get on with the first test, in which I use the USB microphone direct into the Movavi screen recording software. In this first test, my microphone is connected directly to my Movavi screen capture software, and it is doing the sound recording. So I'm going to apply two tests. One is a simple text and pop test, which is Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled. I'll say it again. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppercorns. And of course, you can also use She Sells Seashells on the Seashore to see whether there are any problems with sibilance. Okay, so that's the end of test number one. That was not too bad, but if you listened carefully, you will hear a little bit of background hum picked up from the computer. The popping of the letter P was not too bad. It's sometimes a lot worse than that, but you may have detected the slight screeching hiss of the letter S. So on to the second test, which is with a USB microphone going direct into the Audacity software. In this, the second of the audio tests, I'm using a USB microphone straight into Audacity, which you can see recording on the screen. So we apply the same two tests that we did last time, which is Peter Piper picked a peck of I'll say that again. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppercorns, and She Sells Seashells on the Seashore. And they're both good tests of both the pop action and the sibilance. And that's the end of the second test. I think that was an improvement. There seems to be less background noise, and I would say that the sibilance letter S was better. A further advantage of this method is that the soundtrack is directly editable in Audacity. This means that any coughs and splutters or mispronounced words can be cut out. It is worth pointing out that cutting out material is so easy that if you do make a mistake, the best thing to do is to go back to the beginning of the sentence containing the mistake and repeat it straight away. The spoil bit can be cut out later. Splicing in new material is a different matter altogether. So, on to the third test, in which I used a USB microphone direct into the video editing software, in this case Cyberlink Power Director. This is a very tempting idea. As you watch the video playing through, you simply speak the soundtrack commentary. But if you can do that, good luck to you, because I certainly cannot. I need a script. But for the simple videos, it may be possible, so let's see if it works. In this case, I'm using the USB microphone going direct into the PowerDirector video editing software that I've been using for most of this year. And we'll see how that works out. The recording is running, and you will see on the screen not a lot except for the microphone response button going up and down. This is exactly the same as I would get as if I were recording a commentary track in the video editor. So here we go. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppercorns, and she sells seashells by the seashore. Okay, those are our two tests, and that's the end of test number 3. We have now looked at several ways of capturing audio using commonly available equipment. My general conclusions are: 1. I did not even bother to demonstrate using a microphone plugged directly into the audio jack. Experience shows that it picks up too much background noise from the computer. 2. The USB microphone represents a significant improvement, and having it on a boom on a headset keeps it at a constant distance from your mouth, which helps the sound quality. The USB microphone using Audacity has less background noise than loading the sound direct into the screen recorder. 4. The USB microphone fed direct into PowerDirector video editing software appears to work well. It is therefore a viable alternative for simple videos where there is only one video track. However, experience beyond this trial suggests that if there are several video tracks and the computer is having to work hard to process the video, then the audio quality can be reduced. This is probably more a function of the size of the computer that I'm using, even though it is a fairly high-end laptop. There is an external audio editor provided with PowerDirector video editing software, but I find that it makes a new copy of the audio track every time you make a small change. I therefore find that as a hobbyist video producer, using the Audacity software is easier to control. Even with the USB microphone, I have quite regularly found difficulties with the popping that goes with the letter P, and also with the S sibilants. I have also found that even the USB microphone does tend to pick up a little bit of background noise from the computer. These factors have led me to acquire a high-quality Yeti microphone, which you can see here. The disc in front of the microphone is a pop filter. It almost eliminates the popping problem and certainly helps reduce the hiss that you get from the letter S, the sibilants. The microphone and pop filter are mounted on the cantilevered arm, and at the top is a vibration reducing mount for the microphone. It is a fairly cumbersome setup, but I think it makes a difference. So my preferred setup is to use the Yeti microphone coupled with Audacity for recording software. Experience of using this setup while making my 2018 cruise video suggests that it is almost trouble-free. It is that setup which I have used for this portion of the video, so I suppose I'd better make the same tests. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppercorns. She sells seashells on the seashore. So I think that should be a pretty satisfactory result. The screen display here shows the Audacity program on the left. On the right is a script I prepared using Windows Voice Recognition, which you can find under the Ease of Use heading. This is the way I prepare the commentary track for nearly all my videos. It produces a more polished result than ad-libbing. However, I have not got a newsreader set up where I can look directly at the camera while reading the script. Another advantage that seems to occur with this setup is that it is easier to patch the audio track By that I mean, if you've recorded quite a long video track and find that you have missed a sentence or want to correct a factual error that you've made, it is easier to record the short correction and patch it into the Audacity file without it being too obvious. I suspect that some of the differences between the methods of recording that I have shown in this video will be quite hard to detect. However, I can assure you that the only reason that I have moved to this rather more complex and expensive solution of using the Yeti microphone is that I have found that the quality of the sound using earlier methods is irritating in the final video. So there you have it. The choice is up to you, and it really depends on the use to which the video is going to be put. If I were a full-time professional video editor, then I would have a bigger computer and I would be able to explore some of the more sophisticated audio treatments that are available in modern video editing software, whether that's PowerDirector or one of the more advanced suites of programs. Thank you. I hope you found that interesting.